I'm wrapping up this letter that I wrote you. Maybe it's the only way to cut through. I won't lose myself for anybody. I'm not sorry. Yeah. Though it hurts, I only wish you blessings. When intuition talks, you gotta listen. I won't lose myself for anybody. I'm not sorry. Yeah. 'Cause you build me up to break me down. Never respect the love you found. And I had a voice inside the back of my mind. I always knew it deep down. You don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry. Oh.
Yep. Hope you're all well. Mic's on now. Yeah, I just cut the music short because I wanted to do a preview show before the game. And then I realised the game was on Sunday. But I've got a busy weekend anyway, so wanted to get that done. I'm not on mute now. I don't think I'm on mute now. My audio is good. Yep, my audio is good. So I wanted to cover a couple of things just about the game. I've obviously just been on Don's show, so there's a lot of you that are probably on that, and a lot of people will be coming over as well, which is good. But we just covered a little bit about the game, but I wanted to go through some of the numbers. I also want to have a look at the tactics map, have a look at how we might set up, who might play, and kind of cover that off for the game. Like we've been really, really good the last two games, like really, really good the last two games, and the Real Madrid game was just unbelievable for me. It gave me goosebumps. It made me fall in love with Liverpool again. You know, that's our bread and butter. Going up against the best and coming out on top and winning all our battles and being snarly and just getting at them and putting them under pressure and making their best players look weak. And that's what Liverpool's about. That's our DNA. But the last, 6 of those defeats, we were bang average. We were stinky in games. Like, the opposition have got at us. They've had chances galore in so many games. But those two games, like Aston Villa second half, didn't do anything. Real Madrid didn't do anything. Everton didn't have many chances. Burnley didn't have many chances. So we can do it. And it's really important that we get this win, because I feel if we get this win, we kind of put Manchester City behind us, because Manchester City have been there or thereabouts this season. And there's a lot of people saying, oh, they're back. Oh, they're going to do this. They're going to do that. But I think if we beat them, I think we put them back in the third place spot where they belong. And that's how I feel. Like, put them back there. Yeah, they've got a brilliant goal scorer that scores bags of goals. Well, Newcastle did, and they finished 5th, didn't they? Newcastle had a goal scorer that scored bags of goals, and they finished 5th in Alexander Isak. So they can have a guy that scores millions of goals, but he won't get them second or third. Like, if we can win this game, I think we put Manchester City back in their place and go, look, you're not ready. You're not ready to go up against Liverpool or Arsenal this season. Like, you might be next season, but you're not this season. And I think that's important. I also think that's important as well because I think Arnie needs this. Arnie needs to get another big game under his belt with some of the players that he's bought, and the likes of Ekitike, the likes of Wirtz, the likes of Kirkes. If they get to play these games and we get a result, then it's a feather in his cap for him to go, look, the new players are working. I can get them to work, but they haven't really worked in his system. So I think I wouldn't say I would say his system because it's 100% his system. But I would say the system that we played last season was his and it wasn't his, if that makes sense. There's an element of the players were used to the 4-3-3 from previous manager, and he tweaked it as a new manager. And I think going back to that is going to get the best for us. And out of possession, dropping into that 4-4-2, which we did against Real Madrid, where Mo Salah tucked in as a striker, really, as the two up front, and obviously did a lot of defensive work. He did in that game. I think that really helps us. And having Dominic Szoboszlai in that midfield, where he's not as a right back, and he's not on a 10, he's like an advanced 8, and then he can also drop in as a right midfielder when we drop into 4-4-2. I think that really helps. Really, really helps. And it made us look really good against Real Madrid defensively. Really, really good. Really solid. Really compact. And look, it's another big game. And Bradley likes big games. How many games have you seen Bradley play well when it's a big game? He's a big game player. But you have to give him something that he's familiar with. And he's not Trent. He's not Trent. So stop trying to play him like Trent. Stop trying to play him like Trent. He's not Trent. We don't have Trent anymore. Like, there's no way of making your right back Trent anymore. It's over. Like, put it behind you. Put it behind you. Make your left winger like Trent, because give him a free role. Let him dominate. Or maybe use the right midfielder in the right number 8 in Dominic Szoboszlai, who can maybe be a little bit like that with a bit more flair, a bit more. He can have more shots. Like, you have to start utilising these players. You have to. Like, you have to start utilising your Wirtz and your Szoboszlai in a more attacking sense. Like, let them shoot more. Let them create more. Like, Dominic Szoboszlai had like 3 shots in the first like 20 minutes against Real Madrid. Like, and Courtois pulled off 2 brilliant saves. Like, more of that, please. More of that. Like, do that against Donnarumma. Do that against Donnarumma. Donnarumma also has monster games, and he did against us as well for PSG at Anfield. But we can get at them. We can get at Manchester City. They've got a midfielder who plays as a right back, and they've got another midfielder that plays as a left back right now. So they've got 2 midfielders that they've converted into right backs and left backs. And they've still got a bit of a shaky centre-back pairing who aren't the greatest. They're not the greatest, and they haven't got amazing pace. So you can get at Manchester City. Teams can get at Manchester City. And Liverpool have in the past, and Arnie has with Liverpool already twice last season. So I've said it a million times and I will say it again. Run it back. Run it back. What beat them last time, and you can do it again. You will succeed if you run it back, because every time you've ran it back, we've done well. We've done well this season. Every time you've run it back, we've done well. Anyway, there's 158 of you in here. Amazing stuff. If you haven't hit the like, subscribe, please do. I'm 100 subscribers. I'm about 80 subscribers away from 2,000. So if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please do. It's free. But if you're not going to subscribe, please hit the likes. And also, I will mention I do have a membership as well, and I do conspiracy shows on a Sunday, and sometimes Wednesdays. And I've got loads of content behind the wall as well of me doing a VIP tour and also other stuff at Anfield. So if you do want to become a member, it's 99p. If one of the mods can put the membership link in the chat, I'd really appreciate it. But let's get on to the preview. So some of the key stats. The Optus supercomputer is backing Manchester City, who won 45.4% of the 10,000 pre-match simulators. Erling Haaland only needs to score twice to reach 100 Premier League goals, becoming the quickest to hit the landmark number in the competition's history. I didn't know that. Mohamed Salah is one goal or assist away from breaking Wayne Rooney's record for the most Premier League goal involvements in a single club. So there's two big records up for grabs there. One is the 100 goal mark for Haaland, and the other is Mo Salah's for more goal involvements for a single club. Interesting. While Man City and Liverpool are very much in the title picture with 10 games played, sitting second in the and third in the table, they are 6 and 7 points adrift of Arsenal, respectively. At the time of writing, Mikel Arteta's Gunners are assigned a 71% chance of winning their first Premier League title since the Invincibles 2003-2004, with City at 13% and Liverpool at 10%. Pep Guardiola and Arne Slot face off at the Etihad on Sunday, with both managers knowing there is little margin for error given Arsenal's relentless form in the season's opening weeks. But statistically, City have been the Premier League's best side since the start in April in that time frame. They have taken most points in the competition, 42, winning 13 of 19 games, 3 draws, 3 losses, while they have won 9 of their 10 matches at the Etihad, 1 loss. The thing is as well, when you read out numbers like that, this is what Liverpool are really good at. Liverpool are good at taking away those records, taking away those wins. Like the amount of times we've gone to a ground and they've had a fortress. Like they've had a fortress for months and months, and then we've just gone there and beat them. And you're like, that's what Liverpool do. That's what Liverpool have always been good at doing. They ended an impressive 3-1 victory over high-flying Bournemouth last week before registering an even more eye-catching 4-1 triumph over Borussia Dortmund in the UEFA Champions League on Wednesday. Erling Haaland scored twice against the Cherries before getting on the goal sheet once again versus Dortmund, and he could make Premier League history on Sunday. The Norwegian's brace last weekend took him to 98 goals in 107 Premier League appearances, and he is set to obliterate the record for the fewest games needed to reach a century of goals in the competition, currently held by Alan Shearer with 124 matches. I will share this though. 2 seconds. Let me just share my screen. I will share this because this is interesting. Hang on, where is it? Bear with me. is here. Let me just share this. So this is Haaland's goals. So 98 goals in 8,900 minutes, 18 headers, 70 left footers, 11 right footers, and one other. I don't know. So the other might have come off his chest or something. Haaland is arguably in the form of his life. He has scored 18 in 14 appearances for City in all competitions since the end of the FIFA Club World Cup. Haaland is top for goals, 13, expected goals 10, 43 shots, and 25 on target. This term, averaging a goal every 66 minutes, while scoring from 30% of his shots and 52 of his big chances. There was talk of City over-reliant on the Norwegian recently, but members of their supporting cast have also stepped up. So you've got Phil Foden and Doku have also been creating loads of chances, and Doku and Foden scored in the last game. But now you've got Mo Salah. Mo Salah opened his scoring for Liverpool in last week's 2-0 victory at Aston Villa, a result that snapped a 4-game losing streak in the Premier League. That strike took him 276 Premier League goal involvements for Liverpool, 188 goals, 88 assists, trying Wayne Rooney's single club record for Manchester United was 183 goals and 93 assists. And here's Mo Salah's goal involvements list. So 188 goals, 88 assists, 276 involvements. So if you look at Mo's, Mo scored a ton of goals in the box, 35 from the spot, which you can see there. But he scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He scored 13 goals from outside the box. Haaland scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Scored 7 from outside the box. I'd say Mo and Haaland are pretty neck and neck, really. Salah's next goal or assist will see him claim the record outright, and he has more goal involvements. Mo will know about this. However, the Reds have lost their 3 away games in the Premier League, and they could lose 4 in succession on the road, first time since April 2012 under Kenny. That's why we can't lose. Slot has repeatedly referenced Liverpool's struggles when defending long balls this season. So might facing Guardiola and his patient possession-based approach benefit the Reds? City's 60 build-up attacks in the Premier League this season is almost double the tally achieved by their closest competition, Arsenal 36. So that's an interesting stat. Is City are really good at build-up, and they've done 60 build-ups. So they're way, way ahead of anybody else, which means there's a chance that Pep isn't going to play long ball like he did against Arsenal, funny enough. And there's a chance he might just play the patient football, a bit like Aston Villa did. Only Chelsea, West Ham and Wolves moved the ball upfield with a slower direct speed than City, who progress 1.66 metres per second. Liverpool have the second quickest direct speed, and the 2 most recent teams to beat them, Crystal Palace and Brentford, are the first and third. So Liverpool have started to play more direct, and the teams that beat us play direct, as in Brentford and Crystal Palace have beaten us 3 times now, playing direct. City don't play direct. City are also the only team in the Premier League goal via set piece this season, with all 20 of their goals coming from open play. That's also a positive for us. Manchester City don't score set piece goals. They haven't scored any this season. Liverpool have been poor against set piece teams, and we've conceded 4 this season. This match will be Guardiola's 1,000th as a manager since taking the Barcelona B job back. Across his 999 games to date, he's won 715, 71%, with 549 of those matches coming as Manchester City boss. He's got a 70% win rate at Man City, which is insane, by the way. So Manchester City head-to-head lost both of their Premier League meetings last season by 2-goal scoreline. Only Manchester United in 2020 has Guardiola ever seen one of his team go 3 straight games without a goal against a particular side. There is as many defeats they've suffered in their previous 12 games against the Reds, 4 wins and 6 draws, and they last lost more consecutive games against them between 2015 and December 2016. 4. Liverpool could now win consecutive away games against City for the first time since a run between 1987 and 1991. But City have won 10 of their last 12 league games against reigning champions. So it is against us, but I believe Liverpool could win this game. 2-1 I predicted. City 45%, 27% Liverpool, and 26%. So the predicted lineup for City is Donnarumma, Núñez, Diaz, Guardiola, Nico O'Reilly. So Núñez and Nico O'Reilly aren't natural left back and right backs. Bernardo Silva, Nico Gonzalez, Phil Foden, Cherki, Doku and Haaland. And Liverpool's is Mamadashvili, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk, Andy Robertson. I think it might be Kirkes, but I'm fine with Robbo. Gravenberch, McAllister, Salah, Szoboszlai, Cody, and Ekitike. I think it'll be Wirtz and Ekitike. I'd be interested to get your take on that. I was going to talk about the press conference, but I won't do that now because we've kind of covered that in the show that I was just on. So, what do you guys think will be the scoreline for this game? It'd be interesting to get your take on it, and I will actually share some stuff here. Where is it? Okay, so there's a couple of things I wanted to bring up. So there was this one. So we talked about Arsenal. Yeah, we talked about Arsenal on the previous show. I'm not going to lie, like the biggest title race leads after 10 games have all ended up with the last 4 with first place. All of them. So I just wanted to put that out there because it is really, really tough to pull this back. Really, really tough. And Manchester City away is not going to be easy. But that game, I think, is pivotal. Like, I really do think that game is pivotal. Oh, that's not actually the thing I wanted to bring up. Yeah, that game is that game for me is pivotal. I also think it's interesting what's being said about Szoboszlai as well. Liverpool manager Arne Slot on midfield trio, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister. I haven't been able to play all 3 of them together many times for obvious reasons. Injuries. It helps if a team plays more and more together. Szoboszlai has been outstanding throughout the season, but these 2 games brought more out of him and the team, for me, for obvious reason. But maybe it's smarter not to say those reasons because I don't want to say it over and over again. He has a lot of qualities, but one of them is work without the ball, and I like that. The last 2 games, it was even above his own standards. So Arnie is starting to put that midfield together, and I think it's going to be the same. Like last season, Szoboszlai was unbelievable at the Etihad. He was ridiculous. And look, against Real Madrid, he was ridiculous. Like, he was ridiculous, and Courtois was ridiculous against him. But he is just an absolute monster, and having him on the right hand side as a advanced 8, just it gets the best out of Mo Salah. It gets the best out of Conor Bradley. It gets the best out of our midfield. Ryan Gravenberch can shield the back four then. Doesn't need to be there because Dom's there. Dom can do a million things when he's in that position because he's just so good. And Dom was giving me Stevie G vibes. I'm not going to lie. I'm just not going to lie. He was giving me Stevie G vibes against Real Madrid. Also, really good that Robbo's getting some credit. I was very pleased to see Robbo was able to play 3 games in 7 days. He's done very well for this team. So it's helpful for everyone that he plays well. He's been calm defensively, happy with his 2, maybe 3 performances. So one of them he wasn't happy with, which I think we know which one that was, which was Crystal Palace at home. He was dreadful. But Real Madrid, Aston Villa, good. I think it's Kirkez in for this game. I think Robbo playing another game so soon is a bit risky because we haven't got any other left backs. Well, we have got Gomez, but he's basically our centre back, isn't he? And then he also mentioned Isaac. He will train for the first time today. He's after 3 weeks out. I said 3 weeks ago in pre-season has ended. It's time to see where he's at. Now he's come back. We're going to have to wait again. So we can't judge Isaac just yet either because he's got to get back into the team again now because he was injured. And also, Pep Guardiola, Liverpool has been the biggest rivals in this country and it couldn't be better. I love Pep basically throwing Arteta under the bus and saying, nah, Liverpool's my rival, not Arsenal. And I love that. The needle on that makes me laugh. That one is great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick up the tactics board. I'm going to have a quick look at the tactics that I think we'll probably play. I'm going to stop sharing that and I'm just going to bring up the tactics board here. You've seen this a million times. I think what's really funny is if you go and check out my preview show, I actually put Cody in the 9 against Real Madrid. I said I said it would make sense if he brought Cody on for Ekitike as a sub. And he went and did that. And I also said that it'd be great if he brought Curtis Jones on for McAllister when he gets tired. And he did that. And also Kirkez for Robbo when he gets tired. And he did that. He did everything that I said. And I was sat there going, oh, this is wonderful. I don't think it's going to be like last season, where he played. I mean, last season he basically played two 10s and a winger. Obviously, he didn't play this, but he played like two pivots. So it was like, I think it was McAllister. I obviously haven't got the same players, but I think he played like this. But Dom actually, he could do that, to be honest. If he wanted to do, that could work. That could work. I mean, he did play a 4-2-4 against Man City last season. And Dom was a 10 and Curtis Jones was a 10, if I remember correctly. But he could do that. He could do Verts on the left, Ekitike in like the 9 false 9 position, and then Dom as an advanced day 10, and then Salah, and then your two pivots who literally stay as pivots. Actually, they're the wrong way around. So you got McAllister and Gravenberch, who basically shield the back four. That could work. I'm not going to lie. That could work. And then second half, you take Ekitike off and you put Cody on in that position. That works. That does work. And then if you wanted, like you seem to take Wirtz off all the time anyway in games. Then you can take Wirtz off and you put Chiesa on. That could work. Like, and then McAllister can come off as usual, and then Curtis Jones could come on. So you've got that rotation there, and Robbo might not play for me, and then you've got Kirkes. And you could have that. And like against Real Madrid, and this kind of happened against Real Madrid, by the way, in the second half, Curtis Jones played really deep. Curtis Jones played really deep in that game. And we had Wirtz and Salah. Curtis Jones kind of played in the back five at one stage against Real Madrid. If you look at his heat map, he was here. He was here most of the game he came on, and we still had Grav on the pitch. So that did work. But maybe that could be something that he looks at. Or even Jones. Jones could go up as the as the 10. Mack might stay on. Cody could swap for Wirtz, and you play like that. 4-2-4 maybe. Interesting. Chiesa will come on. Chiesa seems to be his sub. Chiesa does seem to be his sub. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe something like that, and maybe Isaac gets on the bench, which would be great. Maybe he gets 15 minutes at the end. So maybe it is Mack comes off, Jones comes on, and then Isaac plays, and then you've got Dom here, you've got Jones. Well, Jones would be more defensive anyway. Seems to naturally just gravitate to that. And then you got Isaac there. So you've swapped Wirtz out for Cody. You swap Ekitike out for Isaac. And Salah stays, Dom stays. McAllister will swap for Jones. Kirkes might do a whole 90 minutes. Who knows? Eventually he's going to do a whole 90 minutes. Maybe it looks like that. But it'd be interesting. But for me, we really do need to win this game because Arsenal will play Sunderland before. I'll show you Arsenal's games as well, by the way, because this is something that people aren't really taking an interest in. So these are Arsenal's games. They've got some tough games. They have had kind of an easy run. The first 10 games, Liverpool, Manchester United, I've had, and I think Wolves, I've had some of the hardest games out of anybody in the league. They really have. Had some really tough games. But Arsenal's next 5 fixtures, Sunderland away is not easy. Tottenham at home. Tottenham sometimes perform well against Arsenal, like they do against Man City. Then they've got Bayern Munich at home. Then they've got Chelsea away, and then they've got Brentford. They're not easy games. We've lost to 2 of those teams. And there's no reason why Arsenal couldn't lose to Chelsea and Brentford on their day. So they've got some difficult games coming up. Liverpool have got, just give you the I'll just give you the games. I'll give you our games we've got coming up. So we have Man City on Sunday, 4:30 kickoff, which is also a good time to kick off, by the way. Then after the international break, we've got Nottingham Forest at home. We've got PSV at home. We've got West Ham away. West Ham at their ground are dreadful. They are better away right now than at home. Then we've got Sunderland, but at home. Leeds away. Inter Milan away. Brighton at home. Tottenham away. Wolves at home. And that's the rest of the year. Not a huge amount of tough games, if I'm completely honest. Like the Christmas period, Tottenham away is probably one of the easiest games now because Tottenham are dreadful at home. West Ham are dreadful at home and Tottenham are dreadful at home. Brighton aren't great away, by the way. So that's another game. Then we start the year. Leeds at home, Fulham away, Arsenal away, Burnley at home, Marseille away, Bournemouth away. I would say the hardest part of the season for us after the next year, after Christmas, is probably the end of January when we've got Newcastle, City, Sunderland, Forest, and West Ham. But the end of our season is really, really hard. Like the end of the season is really hard for Liverpool. Like we've got one of the hardest end of the seasons. And I don't think people have looked into this. Like for our last 6 games, we've got Everton, Palace, United, Chelsea, Villa, and Brentford. Like, they are really, really difficult games. All of those are difficult games. And I don't think people are looking into that as much. Arsenal have, I'll give you Arsenal's end of the season games. Arsenal have got Palace, Burnley, West Ham, Fulham, Newcastle, Man City, and Bournemouth. We've both got really tough run-ins. Arsenal and Liverpool have got really tough run-ins. So it is going to be a case of can we keep the pressure on? If we can keep the pressure on and keep winning our games, then it's up to Arsenal to drop points. And they are renowned for dropping points. But after that Brentford game, Arsenal have got Aston Villa away. They've got Everton away. They've got Crystal Palace at home. They've got Brighton at home. They've got Aston Villa at home. They've got Bournemouth. Then they've got us. They've got a little run there of tough games. And they have a group of games where they're away, like 4 games where they're away constantly. And that can affect teams because I think we had 3 weeks where we weren't at home. You're right, though. You're absolutely right. You're right, though. There isn't any easy games anymore. And Liverpool do have a really hard run in. It is a really hard run in. It is. Make no bones about it. Like, I do think that we need to get the Mark Guehi deal done in January because we just need that stability. We need another centre back. Just so we know that if there's any issues, then we can throw him in. And I think that's really important. And maybe even maybe he could even play as a DM. Like, he's capable of doing it. But I do think January is probably going to be. I think Semenyo is probably going to get done, and I think Guehi will get done. Like, I've got a thing on Guehi. Where is it? I've got something on Guehi that I wanted to show you. Where is it? Yeah, this. So it's this one. So it's from Lewis Steele on Guehi. Basically, sources in Madrid believe he's given the word to join Liverpool. He's already given us his word to join Liverpool. So it's down to whether Liverpool do it. And I think they will. I think they have to, if I'm completely honest. We can't leave ourselves with Joe Gomez. Like, we just can't leave ourselves with Joe Gomez. And I also wanted to show you the Champions League Opta as well, because the supercomputer's putting Liverpool as the favourites with 20%. And I do feel like we have a team which is really suited to Champions League football. I do feel like we've got a lot of flair luxury players that could really put us instead for the Champions League. And I do think if you get Guehi, you're putting that extra top centre back in there, which could really help. And if you have to, you can go to a back three. You could go to a back three in games if you have to, because you've got Guehi. But Liverpool are 72% for the quarterfinals, 51% for the semi-finals, 34% for the final, and a 20% winner. Like, way ahead of your PSGs and your Man Cities and your Barcelonas. Just putting it out there. Just putting that out there. That's where the odds are putting us. And as we talked about on the show before, I mean, we talked about Wirtz, but I mean, like, he created 5 chances in the first half. Madrid created 5 as an entire team. Like, this guy, if you give him the space to breathe, can be anything. Honestly, he's just so special. He gets you off your seat. Like, he gets you off your seat. Like, genuinely gets you off your seat. And you also have to think about this as well, that after the international break, we're going to have Frimpong and Alisson back. Like, having those two back is going to be sensational. He's not going to be back for the Forest game, but soon after. And you can bring Frimpong on for Salah and give Salah a bit of respite. And Arnie also mentioned about Mo. It helps a lot that the main focus is on players who score goals. It's very important for us to have Salah scoring goals, and it's also important for us to have him help teams team out with the defensive work, which he's done in recent games. And this is something we've talked about extensively. Like, Mo, if he's not performing, then he needs to at least defend. And it looks like he's doing that for Arnie now. Looks like Arnie's probably told him, Mo, if you're not putting the ball in the onion bag and creating chances, then you need to do the defensive work. And it looks like he is. What else have I got for you? I've got a couple more bits, and then we'll head out because it's getting late. So this was the piece that I talked about what Arsene Wenger said, and I do kind of agree with him to a certain extent. Like Arsene Wenger's claimed that Liverpool destroyed their midfield when they chose to deploy Florian Wirtz as their number 10. Liverpool is an interesting example. When Wirtz had the choice between going to Bayern or Liverpool, he said to Liverpool, "I'll come if you play me as a number 10. I don't want to play wide." Liverpool, to get him, said okay, so they destroyed their midfield because their midfield was Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai. When they haven't played together, we have looked shaky in midfield. And I agree with Mike Dass, like, it helps if you've got a frigging midfield. But I think I think Liverpool playing a 10 just doesn't work, full stop. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, Szoboszlai, 10, yeah, he's not really a 10, he's a number 8. But Wirtz, when he plays in the 10, is a number 10. Like, he's so far advanced that he's not doing any defensive work. He's not in the midfield, so he's disconnected from the rest of the pivot. So, look, it is a case of we may well have sold Wirtz short with the story of, well, you're coming to be our number 10, and he wants to be in the middle all the time. But it could be a case of, look, you can play kind of as a 10, but you can't be the midfielder. We need to have the 3 there. You're going to have to go wide, and then we give you a free role where you can then move into that position. And I think that works. I don't think he can play in the pivot. I think he's too small. And I don't want to see him get injured. I don't want to see him go up against Grox, because they might just take him out, and then we've lost Wirtz. Like, you've got to remember, he's had 2 ACLs. Like, and he's not. I think he kind of bounces off players as well, big players. Like, if they go 50-50 with him, he's probably going to lose out a lot. So for me, I think you put him wide, and then he can then have a free roll. That's fine. Like, you look at the goal. Wasn't a goal, but you look at the chances that he set up in the Real Madrid game. A lot of them came from the right hand side because he drifted over. Like, he can do that. What else have we got? Don't think we've got much else now. Don't think I've got much else. No, I think I'm all done with stuff to cover. Okay, yeah, I'll bring this one up as well, because this was last season, talking about this is a good piece, actually, by the way. It's by Paul Gorst from the Echo. So, the sight of an exhausted Dominic Szoboszlai crumpled on the Etihad turf, fresh from inspiring Liverpool to a statement victory over Man City, this is last season, was one of the enduring images of the title-winning team. The midfielder had turned in a performance of poise and purpose back in February, running over 11 kilometres, which also supplying an assist and a goal. By the way, Wirtz did 12 against Real Madrid. Just want to let you know, he did 12 against Real Madrid and got subbed as well. Ahead of his return to the Etihad Sunday, the in-form Hungary midfielder says, "Hopefully this time, if I get a goal and an assist there, I will get the Man of the Match award rather than Mo Salah," because Mo Salah got that, and he did the same. That's what we've missed, I guess. I think everybody could see against Real Madrid, all of us running, fighting, being there for each other, covering each other's back. The most important thing is to keep going like this. There is a long way to go now. Now it's all about the Premier League, facing Man City at the weekend. We know how good they are. We have to focus on that. What I love about Dom there is, and if you look at some of the games where we pressed and we haven't had the rest pressing because we've had the 3-2-5 dog shit that's ruined our season so far, is Dominic Szoboszlai's been pressing, and then the players have passed it round him, and Dom's just gone like that. Like, he's literally, you can see him throwing his hands in the air and looking around going, where are you? Like, where is this team? Like, and him saying that that's what we were like against Real Madrid. We were backing each other up. We were helping each other out. We were covering the ground. That's what wins you a title. That's what wins you trophies. And we need to do that again against Manchester City. Because look, Arsenal dropped 2 points against Manchester City. Arsenal can drop points against Manchester City again. They can do that. That's 2 points we gain if we beat Manchester City. And also, we take Manchester City out of the equation. They lose another game, we take them out of the equation. I think they're too far behind then. So this is really important. And we've just had 2 wins against 2 good teams with really good form. Aston Villa are on a 4-game unbeaten run, and they beat Man City as well in that run. And Real Madrid beat Barcelona recently. Like, they were on a good run as well. So we've taken 2 teams who were on good runs and beat them. We can do the same again against Manchester City. We can do the same again. Bournemouth had chances. Liverpool will get chances. And I just hope it's Wirtz and Ekitike, and they can carry on that relationship, which has looked really good when they played together. Anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed the show. If you're new and you come over from Usan's show, big up Usan for the raid. Please hit the likes and subscribe. I do shows pretty much every day. You can check out all my content. And if you do want to become a member, if one of the mods can put my membership link in the chat, join. It's 99p. I'm never going to change the price. I've got loads and loads of content. And on Sunday, I'll do a 2-hour show on conspiracies and rabbit holes. And it's members only. And the members ask for the content. So they're the ones asking for the content, and I will provide it. And we have fun. We have a chat. We watch loads of videos. It's all a bit wild, but it's cool. And it kind of takes your mind off the football for a bit. And we can talk about aliens and cloning and bloody 3-Eye Atlas and bloodlines and all kinds of mad stuff. All right. It's all there. All right. So get involved and enjoy it. And I will see you all on Sunday, because I'm probably not going to do a show now until Sunday. Hope you've enjoyed the preview show. And I think Liverpool are going to win 2-1 up the Reds. I will see you all later. You all have a good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Take care. Bye-bye. I'm out of here.